Let us begin with this small documentary called The Whole World is a Stage. I want you to imagine that this is a slice removed from the documentary It's Worse Than You Think Part 2. What we are about to show you may shock you, may overwhelm you, but I promise you, you need to know the truth, because the Lord God said, "My people perish because of a lack of knowledge." Satan is a sorcerer, a magician, a worker of magical spells. From the beginning of time, in the Garden of Eden, he operates out of whispering language. Hopefully you have seen our documentary called The Whispering God. If you haven't, you can watch it directly on our website at revelationsofjesuschrist.com. This documentary was reaching almost 500,000 people and was taken down by the enemy. But he operates out of witchcraft language. But you have to understand that the Most High warned us in the book of Isaiah that Lucifer said that I will be like the Most High. And just as God is very precise and accurate, and he commands his servants to do things a certain way. When he commanded them to make the ark, when he commanded them to build the temple, he wanted it done precisely and exactly the way he commanded it to be done. In the same way, Lucifer, who wants to be like Christ, commands his evil servants to do things a certain way. And just as Christ uses numbers, symbols, and colors, we can see this truth all through the Bible. There are certain numbers that God uses. There are certain colors that he mentions on the breastplate of the priest, on the walls, certain colors in New Jerusalem, and symbols. But in the same way, Lucifer uses numbers, symbols, and colors. But he illegally uses these things that the Most High has created in witchcraft and magical rituals. As many of you know, we have been warning the masses for a long time how Satan uses Hollywood to brainwash the people with predictive programming, sigil, greater and lesser magic. Even the word Hollywood comes from the holly tree, which is what they make their magic wand out of. And just as a farmer plants a seed and waits for the right season for that seed to germinate and become a plant, the Luciferians plant seeds through movies, shows, cartoons, video games, news, social media, into the minds of the masses. And then they wait for the right season to bring that which they have given through predictive programming and psychological warfare to come to pass. You know, William Shakespeare once said, "All the world is a stage." This is a man that is propagated throughout schooling systems. But did you know that the Freemasons highly esteem him as one of their own? So what if this was coded language? And what if the world truly is a stage where Luciferian actors deceive the masses 24 hours, 7 days a week? 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and trick the masses that are watching.
Followed the money, I found that it took me up the levels of a pyramid. Here we are at the bottom level going about our daily lives. Above us is government, people who are given a monopoly on force and use it to tax and control us whether or not we agree. But who controls them? At the next level are the corporations. Many would say that it is now corporations and not nation states that rule the world. They call it a corporatocracy.
Did you just hear what he said? He said it is now the corporations that rule and dominate in the world. This lines up perfectly with the prophecy of Revelation chapter 18, verse 23, that warns us about the abomination and how by sorcery will all the world be deceived by the beast. That word sorcery in the Greek is the word pharmakia. It's where you get the word pharmacy. Think real clear. What is from the pharmacy that is being pushed all over the world? But before that, it says that the merchants were the great men of the earth. Those that sold, those who have businesses would be the most powerful people, will be the chief people. That is what it is saying. Prophecy coming to pass, but most, sadly, don't see it.
At the next level are the corporations. Many would say that it is now corporations and not nation states that rule the world. They call it a corporatocracy. To acquire the world's resources and control the markets, this corporatocracy must have access to cheap money. The big corporations get their loans at special rates from the big banks, which means that those who control the major banks, the moneyed elite, ultimately control the corporations. As I've followed the money, I've learned that almost everything I once believed about money is simply not true.
This would explain why, to the Luciferians, it is so important that everything is done as if it is on a stage. Because as we have told you in documentaries in the past, most of them have been taken down or removed because of the truth within them. But if you have seen certain videos, you would remember that we warned you about sigil magic and warned you about lesser magic. This is when they have to tell you what they're going to do in order to make the spell more powerful. Because the devil knows that you are created in the image of God. He has to get your permission and for you to agree for him to put a spell on you. But you see, there are certain gray areas where they can get away with it. Without telling someone, they're putting a spell on them. And one of these ways is through Hollywood, using movies, TV shows, using video games, news, social media, because the mind is not looking at it as something literal, but to the illuminated ones, they are dead serious. So when you start to put the puzzle together and you see certain events that have taken place, and then you look into the past and find out they were using lesser magic and predictive programming before they did it. One great example would be that tragic day 2 metal birds would fly into 2 tall buildings in the city of New York. But I remember that my life changed when my understanding was opened and the Lord showed me how crafty the enemy is. I'll never forget when I seen this video.
Get ready to read all these words on this page without making a mistake. Look at the letter at the end and remember the sound it makes. Get ready.
Kite.
Yes, kite. Get ready to read this word the fast way. Get ready.
Kid.
Yes, kid. Sound it out. Get ready.
Kid.
Sound it out. Get ready.
Kid.
What word?
Kid.
Yes, kid. Boys and girls, sound this word out. Get ready.
Seal.
What word?
Seal.
Yes, steal. Read these words the fast way. Get ready.
Play.
Yes, play. Get ready.
Must.
Yes, must. Let's read these words the fast way without making a mistake. Get ready.
Kite.
Yes, kite. Get ready.
Kid.
Yes, kit. Get ready.
Seal.
Yes, steal. Get ready.
Play.
Yes, playing. Get ready.
Must.
Yes, must. Go to your speak your reader up from under your seat. Open your book up to lesson 60 on page 153. Get ready to read all these words on this page without making a mistake. Look at the letter at the end and remember the sound it makes. Get ready.
Kite.
Yes, kite. Get ready to read this word the fast way. Get ready.
Kid.
Yes, kid. Sound it out. Get ready.
Kid.
Sound it out. Get ready.
Kid.
What word?
Kid.
Yes, kid. Boys and girls, sound this word out. Get ready.
Seal.
What word?
Seal.
Yes, steal. Read these words the fast way. Get ready.
Play.
Yes, playing. Get ready.
Must.
Yes, must. Let's read these words the fast way without making a mistake. Get ready.
Kite.
Yes, kite. Get ready.
Kid.
Yes, kit. Get ready.
Seal.
Yes, steal. Get ready.
Play.
Yes, playing. Get ready.
Must.
Yes, must. Go. Ready.
Play.
Yes, playing. Get ready.
Must.
Yes, must. Go to your speaker.
Kid.
Yes, kit. Get ready.
Seal.
Yes, steal. Get ready.
Are you going to tell me that that is a coincidence? Or could it be the same way the Most High God is very precise, the way he commands things to be done? And he uses certain numbers and colors, and he has a reason for what he does. And if Lucifer wants to be like the Most High, then he is going to operate out of magic power instead of the power of God. He is going to operate out of sorcery. He has to do rituals that open up gateways to the darkness. So while 3,000 souls were sacrificed, the children unknowingly were chanting, strengthening the spell on that tragic day. But you have to understand that we all came into this world and were victimized by the brainwashing and the psychological warfare of the beast system. And this is something that they have been waiting and waiting and waiting for. Because everything has to be done in a season of time. So as the highly esteemed Freemason once said, the whole world is a stage. These Luciferians have to continue the movie. They have to continue this great plan. But have you ever wondered why they're so fascinated with the black and white checkered floor? The same checkered floor that a game of chess is played on. And speaking of chess, this is a game that was invented a long time ago. It's a game that takes craftiness. It's a game that takes pre-planning and foreseeing moves and trying to outwit the opponent. It's a game where soldiers are sacrificed for the greater good of the victory. But have you ever considered that to the Luciferians, the whole world is a chessboard? And that the white square represents how they masquerade as messengers of light. The black squares represent who they really serve, which is the Prince of Darkness.
Traditionally hidden behind three things: the flag, the Bible, and children. No child left behind. No child left behind. Oh, really? Well, it wasn't long ago you were talking about giving kids a head start. Head start, left behind. Someone's losing ground here. But there's a reason. There's a reason. There's a reason for this. There's a reason education sucks, and it's the same reason that it will never, ever, ever be fixed. It's never going to get any better. Don't look for it. Be happy with what you got. Because the owners of this country don't want that. I'm talking about the real owners now. The real owners, the big wealthy business interests that control things and make all the important decisions. Forget the politicians. The politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. They own you. They own everything. They own all the important land. They own and control the corporations. They've long since bought and paid for the Senate, the Congress, the state houses, the city halls. They got the judges in their back pockets. And they own all the big media companies, so they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear. They got you by the balls. They spend billions of dollars every year lobbying to get what they want. Well, we know what they want. They want more for themselves and less for everybody else. But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them. That's against their interest. That's right. They don't want people who are smart enough to sit around the kitchen table to figure out how badly they're getting by a system that threw them overboard 30 years ago. They don't want that. You know what they want? They want obedient workers. Obedient workers. People who are just smart enough to run the machines and do the paperwork, and just dumb enough to passively accept all these increasingly jobs with the lower pay, the longer hours, the reduced benefits, the end of overtime, and the vanishing pension that disappears the minute you go to collect it. And now they're coming for your Social Security money. The big club. And you ain't in it. And by the way, it's the same big club they use to beat you over the head with all day long when they tell you what to believe. All day long, beating you over the head in their media, telling you what to believe, what to think, and what to buy. The table is tilted, folks. The game is rigged. And nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to care. Because the owners of this country know the truth. It's called the American dream, because you have to be asleep to believe it.